Hey, this is JD, also known as S3 Prototype, here at RTX 2015 at the Behemoth booth. My God, how did we get here? So what do you do for Behemoth?
I have a weird title, production coordinator, but I do a lot of like producing and project stuff, and I also oversee the whole kind of audio side. So I work with our voice actors and our sound designers and all our musicians, and I also like do music myself and sound design as well.
So you do everything but make coffee?
Yeah, I buy coffee. Is that not the same thing? It's making it appear, right?
You finally gave a name to Game 4 was last year. It's Pit People this year.
Yes. It's kind of funny because it was actually the original like sketch kind of concept name that was written on some drawings that we had, or that Dan Paladin had, the art director. And usually when you have that first initial name, it becomes kind of like the code name for a while.
Yeah.
And so it was like, Pit People, it's Game 4 for the public, and then we gotta develop the story more and see where the name will come. And then like a year around goes by, and we just came full circle, and Pit People just started making more and more sense because it's where the characters in the game kind of get their fresh start.
Yeah, I got to play a little bit of it. So the beginning of the game, there's a world apocalypse by a bear?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't want to like spoilerify it. Spoilerify? I don't think that's a word. But there's some events at the end of Battle Block Theater that kind of tie into the beginning. It kind of harkens back to it. And there is a bear, and there's bear blood, and there's destruction, and the world is in complete disarray. And time and space is changing in this world, and you're going to see a lot of different entities and characters that like don't make any sense at all.
Behemoth games don't make sense in the beginning.
Very true. This is our way of trying to justify not making sense.
When are we expecting Pit People to hit consoles, PC, beta?
We've said Xbox One first, and then there will be Steam to follow. That's what we're saying right now. No dates, unfortunately, or windows attached to that, but we're working on it.
How long has the game been in production then?
A little bit after when Battle Block Theater shipped in 2013, like shortly thereafter, we started tossing around ideas and prototypes. So we kind of birthed it somewhere toward the end of 2013. So I want to say we're in 2 years now, but we're like moving faster than we ever have before. If you look back at our other games, those are kind of like 3 to 4 to 5 year developments. We're on our like probably fastest development. We're at 2 years, but if you play the game, there's like the gameplay is there, and we're just working on other little bits and working on content, the rest of the content.
Yeah, there was a little bit of polish that needed to happen on the cutscenes. I was like, that's good.
Yeah, I mean the voices is all there, but yeah, we have some placeholders propped in, but we're never afraid. We like to show what we have. We're not shy. We're like trigger happy. So
just put it out there. They're gonna love it.
I want to see people react. Come on.
Speaking of that, I recognize the voice on there. Can you?
That would be Will Stamper, who is also the narrator of Battle Block Theater.
With nothing but a handful of blueberries and a stupid look on his face, Horatio set out to find some shelter, burdened with the realization that none of this would have happened had he listened. And to make matters worse, he's got weak arms, and he's not all that handsome. I don't see what all the fuss is about, but all of this will haunt him until I decide to end his misery. What fun.
So he's back again, doing VO and a ton of other gibberish voices. For something you're like.
I always wonder how those sound recordings go. When you're like, all right, we need to create a new voice and go. I mean, how does that go in the studio?
Well, is it the narrator or the gibberish?
Both. His voice is one iconic.
Yeah.
Because you hear it all through Battle Block Theater, and then you hear it through this, and he's totally sarcastic.
What's this? A beautiful lady.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a character we really developed. We spent time, because it needed to be different from Battle Block, but you know it's kind of him, but it had to be a new character. So we just came up with different concepts of who to emulate, and he had there were definitely 5 iterations prior to what it is now. So it's back and forth with him and Dan Paladin and myself, talking about it. We have it locked in now. And then with the gibberish is great because, and this is to quote him when we're doing it, he's like, oh, it's easy. I'm like, really? How is it easy? It's because you think you could just say gibberish and you can't just go in there oh, say copy that, you got to have some semblance and tie it together, or else stuff gets repetitive. So his the way he does it is he takes a word and I don't know, trumpet, and then chops it in half and then picks like another word, like what's the thing?
Floor.
Pick a word. Floor. Okay, so it's trumpet and floor. So you cuts that, so it'd be like tremor. So then you have like, so it's like tremor, like, and then you have this like new made up like fictitious word that, I mean, maybe it's a word somewhere in the world.
In a different Webster's language.
Yeah. So we piece it together like that, and we actually like write down words and stuff that we come up with, and everybody has this kind of cool catchphrase. So Horatio, one of the main guys, says, how you say? Says, how you say? So that's kind of his thing, how you say? So we have these little fun catchphrases that are tied to their character as well.
I have...
And are gibberish.
Played the game, it didn't make any sense, especially like bonding with the Cyclops. I didn't know whether to be scared or happy.
Yeah, the soul joint sequence. Yeah, I don't even want to try to begin to explain that, because I don't think I really know myself. You kind of got to see it.
We have Battle Block underneath your helm. We also have Castle Crashers, Alien Hominid.
Yep.
Is there any more content going to be developed for those games coming out? Or?
Funny you should ask, because we're going to release Castle Crashers Remastered this year.
Okay.
On the Xbox One. And so what it is now is that it runs at 60 frames per second, which you think, oh, what did it run at before? Is it that different? But man, you put them like, you Pepsi challenge it, A/B it, and it's like, you play it, like the first time I played it, it was just like this prototype we made. I'm like, this is a completely different game. And then we, up-resed all the textures in the game, and we made a new awesome mini game called Back Off Barbarian, which is a lot of fun and it breaks your brain. We don't have it here, but we'll have it at some shows coming up after this of like standalone, again, fun button presentations of how you play it. Again, I could explain it, but it's like running away from barbarians while like translating what you press to where you move, because it's ever changing. This is a terrible explanation, but trust me, it makes sense when you're doing it.
Like any Behemoth game, you're like, I don't know. Okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, like what just happened to me? Like, did I just play? Yeah.
Are we going to be seeing, Alien Hominid, the Castle Crashers in Pit People?
I mean, we own all our IP, which we're our own studio, we're self-published, so the beauty of that is that we can intermix this stuff like as much as we want. So obviously there are some Nightheads in Battle Block and everything vice versa. So yeah, there's going to be some stuff popping up in Pit People. Yeah.
Just to recap, when are we expecting Pit People?
Tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking.
Oh
totally
my God,
joking.
it's like Sega Saturn all over again.
No, we don't have a release date. Sorry, it's one of those unannounced yet. Sometime in the near, not too distant future time.
Hopefully, it's not the Duke Nukem when it's done.
No, we're moving fast. Castle Crashers Remastered this year.
This year.
Yes.